Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest episode of Avillion and Brayden Talks. We got some football to talk about. We got some other fun stuff to do. But before anything, I am joined, as always, hence the title of the podcast, I am joined by a very good, very handsome, very close friend of mine, Avillion Talks. Jacob, how you doing?
Howdy. I'm here. There's a storm brewing. So
Skylar
hurricane coming.
Storm.
Her name is Helene. Yeah, Skylar Thompson. Monday Night Football if he plays. But
If he should.
um, yeah. Hurricane Helene is coming. She's not a hurricane yet, but she will be sometime tomorrow, and should ramp up pretty quick in the Gulf. It's going to be about a Cat 3 or so, they're saying right now. It's not going to hit me directly, but it is going to brush past me a bit. It's going to be raining a lot, so chances are I'm not going to work on Thursday. I don't see why it would be. It is raining literally the entire day, according to the forecast. There is no break. So we're getting enough of the storm for me to say I think I'm going to work tomorrow, and then we're going to unplug everything and make sure everything's prepped, and then other than that, I'm doing pretty great. Hi, Bobby. And just hanging in there, doing I got some stuff to talk about later that I can't get to now. I've been on stuff.
I got some stuff too.
Yeah, so we'll get to that when we get to that. But how are you, sir?
Do you know what really is very annoying to hear?
What would that be?
As a single man,
Mm.
at the guys I work with, these either married guys or just guys with girlfriends or whatever. When I tell them I'm single, they always are like, "Good, don't get married, don't get a girlfriend," all the time, and it's so fucking annoying. I always think of the quote that's like, "I am a man dying of thirst, watching another man drown."
Watching another man.
And I'm just like, dude, shut the I'm lonely, brother. Please stop. I'm lonely. This doesn't help. I can't keep just jacking off.
I'm so glad that our generation in large part has moved past the whole "I hate my wife" thing.
It's crazy.
It's fucking insane. Just as
It's
a concept,
so dumb.
Or you'll see women do it with their husbands too, but in general, just the idea that people I fucking hate my spouse. Kill yourself. Not
the
actually,
old ball and chain.
The old ball and chain. Or what do you call it? They had the camera was on her a lot last night. It was Shawty with the hey Josh Allen, I just got married, but I'd leave my husband for you. He's right here, by the way, or whatever. From what I heard, there were actually quite a few of those signs at the game. It was not just the one lady.
Ew.
Why? That the sign was way too wordy to even be funny. Yeah, that would have pissed me off, honestly, if I was the husband. I don't like that shit.
Yeah. Also, Josh Allen has Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, he don't need you.
You're fine. You're no zero chance.
Yeah, it pisses me off so bad when people are like you said, married guys with kids, literally living my dream, right? The most important thing to me to happen in my lifetime that needs to happen, and they're like, it's not worth it. Fuck you.
It's like, brother.
Fuck you. I'm
I'm
gonna appreciate that shit. I don't care if you don't. All right, when it's my turn, I'm not gonna forget how it felt when it wasn't. Okay?
I will say. The good thing is, the guys I don't hear this from, there's some of the guys that come in with the lunch that their wife made them.
Yeah.
Oh my, I get so jealous. I can't lie. I'm starting to look over and be like, son of a bitch. It does something to my brain because normally I'm like, you know what? I would want to partner with she has her own job and her own ambitions. That'd be hot. And then I see them come in with the lunches made and I'm like, Maybe a woman does belong in the kitchen. I'm joking.
I saw this video one time of this girl. Her boyfriend was a fireman, and he was at the station for 2 days. That just happens sometimes. You're there for a long time. So he was working a 36 hour or something something 36 or 48-hour shift or something. So she done made this man like 5 pancakes, like several different sandwiches. She done packed them all cooked them all types of shit, just banged it all out in one night. Packed all types of shit up for this. And I'm like, my ass need to be a fireman, dog. I need this. I need this shit in my life. You know what I mean? And like, I love doing that kind of thing for my partner too. Like, it's not a one-way street, but it's just like,
oh yeah, I mean, I like cooking.
To be, well, like, because I've always heard, I heard this not too long ago, and it made me like, I think about it a lot, and it's that like, to be loved is to be worth the inconvenience. Where like you think like, oh, I don't want to bother somebody, oh, I don't want to, be a burden or whatever. Part of being in a relationship is simply picking up the other person's slack sometimes. Like, that's just that's the beauty of living with another person, period. Like, if you're going to like spend your life with somebody, that's what you should do.
This is the fucking. We might need to change the name, brother. This might be the fucking Loverboy podcast.
This is the Yearners, the Yearners podcast.
Yearner boy.
Yearners, extraordinaire, whatever. Yeah, I'm with you.
But speaking of women and the impact they can have.
Speaking of women, affirmations. Girl boss.
Girl boss affirmation of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I knew then, and I know now that when it comes to justice, there is no easy way to get it. You have to take a stand and say, this is not right. Claudette Colvin.
She's cooking.
She's absolutely correct.
Absolutely correct. You have to be loud. And when people will bring up like, oh, why are you protesting in this area or whatever? Like, this, like when you see people, like blocking a bridge or whatever in protest, there is no such thing as a successful protest that didn't inconvenience somebody in some capacity. If you just sit in a corner and yell really loud, no progress is going to be made. If it's that important to you, yes, you need to inconvenience somebody, because then that's when people say, give them what they want so they stop blocking the fucking bridge. Because you're not getting anything done just by standing on a patch of land and asking for something. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be loud. You have to make it. You have to put yourself in the way.
If you're being talked over, speaking in the same volume will not get you heard. You have to be louder.
Yes.
Very simple. Anyway, that was a good one. That was a great one.
Yeah, I love that one. I love everything about that one.
But now,
sure. The meat and potatoes.
I think we're talking ball.
What we do here.
Let's get started. Because now it's getting into a fun part of how this team's season has been going. That even though I'm not necessarily dedicated watching them, maybe I could start to have some ideas, because it's gone so a certain direction. Let's talk about those Tennessee Titans of yours.
So, when I said in the offseason that the gap between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars, there isn't one. Remember when I said this, right? I said there wasn't really a gap between the two. I didn't mean two worst teams in the fucking league. I meant like one of them goes 7-10, the other goes 8-9.
3 0-3 teams, 2 big cats, 1 Titan.
Yes, sir. Oh, get that. Thank you. Anywho, sorry, kitty problems. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good.
Get those Shador Sanders Titans.
Oh my dude,
photoshops ready.
That is worst case scenario.
Carson Beck.
Worst case scenario. I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. In terms of running Brian Callahan's offense, Carson Beck could totally fucking do it. Carson Beck would actually be a decent fit. If we're taking a quarterback,
is Cam Ward coming out?
I was just gonna. Well, yeah, he's out of eligibility, I think, after this.
I don't know. I don't keep up. I don't know how old.
Unless he's like 24. He's been in college for a minute now. But like, unless he blows his knee out and wants to use a medical red shirt, like blows his knee outside. Knock on wood. Don't do that. I like Cam Ward. And what I like about Cam Ward, what makes me really want Cam Ward, is that I have seen time and time again, no matter who the Titans quarterback has been since I've been watching them, none of them have had good pocket presence. Cam Ward is the most nonchalant, fucking does not care about pressure whatsoever. He sees it. He just doesn't give a shit. He doesn't panic. Like almost hilariously calm under pressure in the pocket. He's accurate. He's got a howitzer. He's got decent athleticism. He's not like Lamar, but he's not a fucking statue either.
Mm-hmm.
He can move. But he's got it. He can throw piss missiles. Like Cam Ward's got an arm. Played at Wazoo. You know, they love to pass over there. And what Cam Ward has done for the Miami program should not be understated. I don't like Miami, like most folks who don't cheer for Miami. However, I like Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward a lot. So, and that's the number one reason why I don't want Shedeur Sanders. I've seen too many quarterbacks with bad pocket presence. We don't need another one. We do not need another one. Just give me somebody who knows how to navigate pressure. Which
is Cam Ward QB1?
I liked what I saw from Quinn Ewers a lot before he went down. The problem is he's once again gone down, and for a guy who's hurt as often as Quinn is, I think this is now all 3 years he's been a starter. He's hurt. He's missed some time. I think he might not have missed any last year. I know he missed some 2 years ago. I don't remember, but he looks like sizably improved this year as opposed to the last 2 seasons for sure. And like with a complete season, I think he could cement himself as the guy. There's also just a ton of like guys that I just kind of like, but I'm not like I like Garrett Nussmeier. I'm waiting for him to be like holy shit.
Is there a world where you're like first round take whatever top talent there is, and then second round take whoever's left?
The problem with quarterbacks in the second, I almost feel like there is never a quarterback worth taking in the second. Because if a quarterback is good enough to go round 2, he's good enough to go round 1. And if he's not good enough to go round 2, or if he's not good enough to go round 1, he probably shouldn't go round 2 either. Because like there's a reason we didn't have any day 2 picks at quarterback in this last draft. Even Spencer Rattler fell away to round 5. I think the league's starting to look at it that way too. If you're not a guy who's like firmly cemented in round 1, teams probably aren't going to reach on. Will Levis was a special case because it just kind of like happened so that nobody necessarily needed one when once the first 3 quarterbacks had been drafted. So Tennessee lucked into him with the second pick in the second round. But generally speaking, there's very few circumstances where you should be taking a quarterback on day 2, because for the most part, like he's either good enough to go day 1 or he's got to be a 4th round pick.
So then what about taking top tier talent first round and punting next year?
Because next year's quarterback class is so good, my thoughts have been like, first and foremost, sign Sam Darnold. If Minnesota lets him walk, I would drag my nuts across broken glass to get Sam Darnold in Tennessee. And then for the draft, I mean, you've got Will Campbell, you've got Nick Scorton, you've got James Pierce. If you end up not being like ridiculously bad, like top 3, bottom 3 team in the league, you could take Tetairoa McMillan. He's my wide receiver 1 as it stands, and he'd be the perfect DeAndre Hopkins replacement. He's 6'5". He wins at the catch point, runs good routes, is a good fluid mover. He kind of like he's like Roma Dunze if he was a bit better of a prospect, which is high praise. I love Roma Dunze. So like ever so slightly better of a prospect, I would say is kind of where I'm at with him right now. We'll see where I'm at with him, but I like him. I like him a lot. And as the season goes on, he's like continued to impress. So.
I like you. I want you.
And I want you. So if it's not a tackle and if it's not an edge rusher, it's T-Mac. And if it's not any of those, it's a reach on a quarterback. Like I said, I'd be okay with Cam Ward. Like that's like the one quarterback right now that, and the more I watch him play, the more it inspires.
I now so badly, desperately want the Titans to draft Shedeur Sanders.
I knew exactly the words that were going to come out of your mouth there, and I just want to know why you hate me so much.
I love you. I genuinely love you, but it would just be funny.
It would make good content. It would be an even worse draft reaction than J.C. Latham, who, by the way, has played well.
Yeah.
So I'll eat crow on that one.
Maybe you need to be upset.
JC Latham has allowed 2 pressures in the last 2 games, and it's only depressing because the 3 players drafted before Latham were 3 players I desperately wanted, who have all been superstars, no question about it.
Who all went ahead of him?
Marvin Harrison Jr. went 4th, Joe Alt went 5th, and Malik Neighbors went 6th, and we took 7th. All 3 of them have been bona fide superstars.
Malik Neighbors has been better than Marvin Harrison Jr.
It hasn't been. There's not like a gap between them.
He's been better.
I don't think there's.
Also, you got to factor in who's throwing the ball.
Well,
and I know. I was gonna say, I know you could spin it the way that you were just about to spin it, but I don't know, dude. At the same time,
like I was saying, like I think I even mentioned it while we were doing our mock draft. Like there are a lot of people that had Neighbors ahead of Marvin, and apparently there were a decent amount of teams that had Neighbors ahead of him too. And like I don't doubt it because also like Neighbors has that wide receiver 1 personality, where Marv is like just the nicest dude. So it scared some
what's
people.
His comp? Larry Fitzgerald?
Well, yeah, he's in Arizona. Only Arizona is allowed to draft wide receivers high that don't necessarily have the wide receiver 1 gene in them, where they're just kind of a little bit petty.
I mean, you could say diva. I know it gets thrown around a lot for wide receivers.
I guess. But like, honestly, I want my wide receiver to be a bit of a diva. Like, he needs to be a little bit of a bitch. And I'm like, I wish Traylon Burks was more of a bitch. Like, he fucking stinks. And it's probably just because he's just a chill ass dude. And like, respectfully, you can't be playing wide receiver. You can't be a 1st round pick at wide receiver and just be a chill ass.
There's a sweet spot. You can't be Stephon Diggs.
You can't be a distraction, but you can't be nonchalant about everything. Like, no, you need to have some presence. You need to rub some people the wrong way.
Be as chalant as you want.
Be chalant. Yeah. Be a little bit chalant. And Malik Neighbors has that gene in him, and that's why I was never worried about Malik Neighbors, because I'm like, no, he's got that wide receiver 1. Like, he's got that Michael Thomas in him a little bit. He's got a little bit of that, so a lighter version of that, I think. Well, for now, I mean, some guys it happens later in their careers.
As they get more established in the league, yeah.
Well, especially if it takes them too long to get him a quarterback, he might not be very happy. He might be requesting a trade in like 3 years. We'll see. But anywho, this team stinks. There's just no ands, ifs, or buts about it. I mean, you can't even hang your hat on the defense this week.
It wasn't to the level of the first 2, but once again, great picture. He's on a run.
Defender's nuts in his face. Well, not only that, but and that play, like, I hate that turnover goes against Will Levis on the stat sheet. Nicholas Petit Frere needs to be shipped to China. Like, that man needs to hang up the cleats first and foremost. That man is terrible. He did get benched right after that play, so like, obviously Callahan acknowledged it. But probably he got benched for Jalen Duncan, who looked just as bad as soon as Duncan played in there. So the answer to the right tackle's problem is not on this roster. It's not there. And like, I have confidence in the rest of the line for the most part. Now, Skronsky hasn't looked very good, but Lloyd Cushenberry's been good, and J.C. Latham's been good, and Dylan Radin's, maybe he's looked bad the last couple of weeks because he has to compensate for having the worst right tackle in the league on his right side. So I don't know. You give Bill Callahan the youngest offensive line in the league. I'm sure there's growing pains that need to be had. Like, if the line is this bad in like week 11, yeah, it's just cooked. It's over. Like, you have to replace everybody. Skronsky being the most concerning is, like, I'm really surprised Skronsky has not been very, because he's got good players on both sides. It's not like last year where Skronsky has a liability at left tackle he has to compensate for. No, Latham has played well. Cushenberry has played well. There's no excuse for Skronsky to be playing poorly at this. But
I don't know how we didn't ask this yet.
Mm-hmm.
And you know better about where blame needs to go. But at what point are you like, hey, what does Mason Rudolph look like here? Are you there?
The reason I'm so hesitant to do that is because I don't think that really does much for your football team.
Did you say this last week about a team?
Okay, Carolina's not going to the playoffs because of Andy Dalton. We'll talk about them later. But and if anything, all he did was ruin their draft position. Which is what Mason Rudolph is going to do if he comes in and starts.
No, what he did was keep that coach from being a 1-year hire. That team needed it.
Okay, fair enough. But where I'm at with Will Levis right now, like it's yet another week of like once he threw that pick six, and make no mistake about it, that was not a good throw. Some people were defending, even like Brian Callahan said himself, like he didn't really hate the throw. Calvin Ridley was wide open on the other side. Jair had that hitch route covered very well. He was close to it, and he made it. Yes, it's an all-pro corner making a great play on the ball. However, maybe you shouldn't be throwing at the all-pro corner who's already close to DeAndre Hopkins when the ball is thrown. Calvin Ridley was wide, but booty naked open on the left side of the field. Throw that ball to Calvin Ridley next time. Don't force it to DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins, by the way, did look like he was back in this game, like back. He had 70 yards and a tug, so. He did actually play some good ball this week. But after that interception, on Levis's like next 15 throws, he was 13 of 15, and those 2 incompletions were dropped, and they were accurate drops. So like, Levis is. I hate saying this a third week in a row because at some point you can't ignore them, right? Because they're happening, and he's in year 2. It's only his 12th career start, but he's 25 years old. You gotta be doing a little better than this. It's tough to say, well, hey, if you ignore the awful turnover that gave the other team 7 points, he looked really good. And he did. He looked much better after that play. But the problem is he didn't navigate pressure well in this game, though, is another issue. Is that he navigated pressure well last week. He was responsible for more than 1 sack in this game that was taken. As much as I hate to admit it. He had at least 2, but possibly even 3 sacks on this game, Levis.
Maybe he's just on a delayed Josh Allen type trajectory.
Well, I mean,
maybe that's all this is.
His numbers through his first whatever games are better than Allen's through his first 12, right? Like, the problem is Josh Allen was 21 years old when he was drafted.
That's why, delayed.
Already. So it's like it's. Plus, Josh Allen is a historical outlier. Let's be honest. Like, playing a quarterback who clearly needs time in the oven in his rookie year, but just having so much belief in him that you're like, no, it's good. It's good.
Also,
fine. Like,
one of the characteristics, I don't know how often we see like improve as much as Allen's did of like accuracy to the I don't know.
Because accuracy in general is not like not that bad anymore. It's like, honestly, I don't care if a quarterback's inaccurate in college if he's good at everything else. Like, if he feels pressure well, if he has command of the pocket, if he has the physical tools, if he's missing on some throws, even some layups, that's the kind of guy you'll just let him sit for a year and learn how to throw fucking football properly and then profit the next year.
Just mechanics.
Right. Like, if I see a guy who is doing, like, the number one predictor of quarterback success in the NFL, to me, at least based on, in my opinion, I don't know how much data there is backing this because it's hard to, everybody views pocket presence differently. It's hard to, like, objectively quantify, oh, this guy has good pocket presence, this guy has bad pocket presence. But generally, when I watch a quarterback and I see that he feels pressure well, typically those guys do a little better at the next level than the other guys do. Guys that, because that's, at the end of the day, you're not going to have perfect protection, right? I mean, yes, you can go behind some great offense. You can get drafted to a great situation. Most guys don't, quite frankly. Most quarterbacks that get drafted with the intention of being a starter don't get drafted to good offensive teams.
Right.
You have to be able to feel pressure. You have to be able to navigate the pocket. And Will Levis can't do that right now. Which is why I don't want Shedeur Sanders when people tell me, oh, like, let's go get Shedeur. No. Why do you want more of the same shit we've been seeing the last decade? He doesn't feel the pocket well at all. He's arguably worse than Ryan Tannehill was with this. Like, no, thank you. Those throws to end the game, or to end regulation against Baylor, were fucking nuts, though. Like, he throws a beautiful football. I will never deny Shedeur Sanders can sling the rock, but there's too much else about him I don't like. But anywho, I'm not ready to throw in the towel on Levis yet, but that's like, okay, I'll tell you right now. After the bye week, which is the following week, we play the Dolphins on Monday night. We have the bye week, and we play the Colts. If Will Levis has a back-breaking, stupid turnover in the Colts game, bench him. If you have an extra week to prepare, an extra week to get your mind right, you're going against a not very good defense. Yeah, if you can't get it right against that team, go ahead and log off for me. Yeah, it's Mason Rudolph time after that. That's my answer. My answer to when you pull the plug. You give him 2 more games because the second game comes after the bye week. Mm-hmm. So if he can't show improvement in the turnover department in those 2 games, go ahead and sit him down.
You want to get into some other games?
I'd love to.
All right.
I'd love to talk to somebody else.
Are we going with best win?
Best win. Best win. I need a max win.
All right, best win. I'll kick us off here because this is one that just I loved to see. Now it was another they got this win against a team I like a lot, but I'm going with best win of the week: Vikings over the Texans in dominating fashion.
All aboard the Geck bus, baby.
And
yes, sir.
The only reason the Vikings didn't dominate the Niners the week before was simply Fred Warner. Mm-hmm. I think he collectively was like a 14-point swing in plays he made.
He's fucking insane, man.
But this week, Texans don't have Fred Warner. You see what the result is. This team could be, we'll get into Brayden's best later. I won't spoil it. Could be the best team in football. You have Kevin O'Connell on the offensive side, Brian Flores on the defensive side, not having to worry about a quarterback, just being able to focus on defense. This team is so good. You throw in the best wide receiver in football.
Mm-hmm. Damn straight.
It helps. Aaron Jones is playing extremely well.
Finally, a stable running game in Minnesota. It's been a minute. It's been a couple years since we've seen that.
Hawkinson isn't playing yet.
Nope.
Maybe he isn't 100% whenever he does, but I think people are going to forget how good TJ Hawkinson is when he's healthy, and I hope we see that again.
We've got Devin Cope catching touchdown passes from Sam Darnold, right? Like, it's up.
Naylor?
It's up. It don't matter. Jalen Naylor has, I think, 2 or 3 on the season already.
He's been wide receiver 2 over there. He's been producing. He's found his connection with Sam Darnold.
He had a lot of hype in the offseason, and he has cashed in on it for sure.
Yeah,
they liked him a lot. They talked about him a lot.
And they didn't beat a team that's like, okay. They beat a team that a lot of people have either in the Super Bowl contending bubble or just outside of it. They beat a really good team with a really good quarterback that they held to 7 points. They held C.J. Stroud, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Nico Collins to 7.
And Brian Flores had C.J. Stroud seeing ghosts. Like, C.J. still, only in his second year. Like, there's got to be some coverages he hasn't seen.
That's the reminder.
Going to be a game or 2 like this in the next couple of years. Like, it's going to happen. Brian Flores is very quickly building his pedigree back up, and good for him. Just please go to a team with an established quarterback. Don't go somewhere.
We made the Cowboys jokes in the group chat.
Yeah. I think Gabe was talking about seeing Brian Flores in Dallas. I think that's a good fit. Like,
since Jerry Jones has given up on the offensive side of the ball by signing Dak Prescott to that contract, go all in on defense.
Yeah. And yeah, some of the shit Flores has been running is just fucking insane.
Yeah.
Just the shit that he showed. Andrew Van Ginkel was such a perfect player for this Vikings defense with this under Brian Flores' scheme. Just like the best possible addition that they could have made there. I mean, he had him in Miami, but I'm so glad to see him there.
And Vikings are number 1 right now in a tough division. They're getting these tough wins that you need to win a tough division.
Yeah.
They've got the Packers and Lions right behind them.
They play Green Bay this week.
Yeah, we'll get to it. That's going to be cinema.
Yep, I will be watching.
You know what?
Game.
I think last year we did like our game of the week, like the one when we did picks. We were like, this is the game I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah, we did do that. We should do that again.
Yeah, we'll do that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have. I'm not surprised this team is good. 3-0, beating 2 of the best teams in the league, like looking great. Sam Darnold, if I made an MVP ballot, he'd probably be like number 2 on it, behind like Josh Allen.
Might be number 1, yeah. But I mean, Sam Darnold just threw 4 tugs in this against Brian or against what the fuck?
D'Amico Ryans, head coach, or are you looking for the DC?
Yeah, D'Amico Ryan's defense. I don't know why I blanked on D'Amico Ryan so bad there. Thank you.
We know.
Just threw four. Man, fuck you. Just threw 4 tutties against D'Amico Ryans. I mean, that's God. I fucking love Sam Darnold, man. I'm so happy for him.
I think going into Monday Night Football, I was like, Sam Darnold's probably my MVP, and then Josh Allen. And I just watched Josh Allen play, and I was like, all right. Okay.
He did it in one half. So
and he was my preseason pick, and I've stuck with it. I don't think I'll ever come off Josh Allen being MVP this year. It's gonna take so much for me to come off of it.
Dude, a Bills versus Vikings Super Bowl would be the best thing that could happen to football this year.
I don't think there's been a Super Bowl recently where I can comfortably go in and be like, hey, either team wins.
Rams-Bengals. I mean, we were both. I know you wanted Cincinnati. I know you wanted Burrow to get that ring, but like seeing Matthew Stafford.
How many years ago was that?
3.
That's too many, brother.
That was 2021, man.
That's too many.
I guess, but no,
you know what I don't want? I genuinely don't want to see the 3-peat. Call me a hater. I don't want to see the third team in a row.
Either. They're becoming so increasingly unlikable because like Mahomes isn't even fun to watch anymore.
This is one of the, I wanted to talk about this.
Yes,
and we didn't.
I'm glad you brought this up. I'm glad you got
I think the number one reason the Chiefs are so disliked is the commentators. Yes. And it is because when you watch, when you listen, you can joke. People are like, "Hey, these are great players. They're giving them props when they deserve it. Good, the commentators are doing right." No. When you listen to them talk about the game, it sounds like there is no hope for the other team. The commentators completely take out any suspense, any hope that this is going to be a competitive game. They make it sound like the Chiefs are inevitable in every single game when they're not. They have been the best team over the past couple of years, but they're not going for their 40th straight win. They do lose occasionally. I get it's occasionally. They don't even set it up to sound like David versus Goliath for any team. It is just my foot and an ant. That's what it sounds like they're teeing up. It sounds like there's no hope. It's so annoying because here they go. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Make this suspenseful. Make this interesting. Yeah. Make me think that there is a chance in any way that this other team wins, and they don't do that. It's so annoying.
It's a bad product, quite frankly, from a business standpoint. It's like they did the same shit with New England for so long, and we're seeing the same effect, and it's sad because Mahomes is kind of playing like Tom Brady now. No, you've got the talent to just fucking to like. I wish I want to go back to when watching Patrick Mahomes was fun. It hasn't been fun. It hasn't been fun.
Starting year 1, obviously it was year 2 for him, but that year was fun.
Go back to maybe Mel Kiper's right. Maybe every safety needs to be publicly executed so that we can see more deep shots. Because I miss the days when Patrick Mahomes didn't know how to read a defense and he was just slinging the rock and he threw 50 tugs. Give me that football back. I don't want to see this shit. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of watching the Chiefs bail. I'm tired of watching. I don't want to see a Kansas City DB with his back turned to the ball, hugging Kyle Pitts, not get flagged. That's not the shit that would have happened in 2018. That would have been a penalty in 2018. I don't care what anybody says. Kansas City would have gotten flagged for that had they not won 3 Super Bowls in the last 6 years. It's bullshit. It's quack bullshit. I am sick of it. So, yeah, give me literally anybody else.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull it up. I could quickly rattle off because I made a list ranking quarterbacks. I'd want to see win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. While you're doing, I'm gonna get into best win here for myself.
I found it.
Washington Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels looked awesome. So
yes,
your rookie quarterback looks great through 3 games. You're gonna be happy with yourself.
Is this crazy? Best quarterback in that division right now, Jaden Daniels. I know it's 1 week.
Easily.
This is I like Mike McCarthy. maybe not anymore. With how this season started, like that's bad. You know how neither of us like Nick Sirianni. Brian Daboll at one point looked really good, and it's tough with Daniel Jones. It might not be his fault, but is there a world where Dan Quinn is just the best head coach in that division?
He's moving me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, the defense still doesn't look amazing for Washington, which is what holds me back. Like culturally, yeah, and I think that's what he was brought in for, to be an adult.
100%.
Yeah, just a better Ron Rivera. But
put in a good staff like Cliff. I mean, weeks 2 and 3, the Commanders scored on every drive.
Which, by the way, has not been done since 1940. For 2 weeks in a row, no team has done that since 1940.
Oh, I heard differently. I heard a couple times. It was like Big Ben did it one year. Josh Allen did it one year. The Patriots
2 weeks
did it.
in a row?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Maybe twice in a season. I don't think it was 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Two
no,
weeks
they
in a
because
row.
they said the weeks. It was like the Bills was like 16-17. The Steelers was like in the middle of the season. I don't remember what weeks exactly.
I don't know. Maybe, but it was like no punts, no turnovers, nothing. Just
It might. Well, if you add in that, mate, I don't know. Well, no, because if they scored,
yeah. But it was no punts, no turnovers, and it was like points on every drive that didn't end in a kneel down. So, and I saw first team since 1940. What I saw, but
anyways, back to. I'm just gonna.
Also, the first game of the Super Bowl era where neither team had punted or had a turnover, I think. Something like that. Neither team in the game punted or had a turnover. Both teams scored in every possession. I think it's the first game of the Super Bowl era that's ever happened. Or no, I'm sorry. That's the first time since 1940 that's happened.
What?
That's what I saw. Both teams scoring on every single possession. No punts, no turnovers by either team in a game. That's the first time that's happened since 1940. That's the stat that I saw.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to add on?
Just a good win, man. 2-1 after the first 3 games of the season, and you've played the Bengals. You've played who did they lose to in week 1? I don't remember, but they beat the Giants. They beat a division opponent week 2. Yeah, you gotta feel good about it. Oh, the Bucks. That's who they lost to. The Bucks. Gotta feel good about what you've got right now, especially with how well Jaden Daniels is playing. You gotta be excited. Gotta be excited if you're them.
And I'll just say this for the Bengals side of it. I said I wouldn't panic until they go 0-4.
Right.
I said I have seen them go 0-3 and make the playoffs. I'm not panicking, especially because Ravens are 1-2. So it's actually it's Steelers are 3-0. I don't give a fuck. I could not give less of a fuck that the Steelers are 3-0. So to me, they're a game back.
Yeah.
To me, that's how I look at it right now. They're 1 game back.
Yeah.
So I'm really not panicking yet. They play the Panthers next week. This will be after they make the QB change. Because I heard head coach new head coaches / interim head coaches they're great their first game. I think that stat carries over for quarterback changes. I don't know if maybe the stat doesn't carry over, but betting lines adjust the same way.
Yeah.
But hey, this is now week 2 after the quarterback change. It's back on the table. Panthers probably still look better with Andy Dalton than they had with Bryce Young, but I'm not gonna overreact.
Yeah.
Either.
Fair.
So, so I think they'll have a pretty comfortable win next week.
Yeah.
Spoilers for when we do picks. But anyways, just had to make it clear. If anyone's trying to come at me being like, "Oh, you said you were a Bengals fan this year and you haven't talked about them that much," I'm not worried in the slightest.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what? I'll just rattle off those QBs I wanted to see win a Super Bowl very quickly. Number 1 is Joe Burrow. Number 2 is Josh Allen. Number 3, I want Lamar. All of those is I've seen them for a couple years. They've been playing at an elite level. They deserve a Super Bowl kind of thing. Number 4 is Stroud. I just love him. Man of faith. Love it. He's younger, so that's why it's held back a little bit because these other guys are putting in more time. But he's great. 5, I went Sam Darnold. The story would be great. Would be amazing.
All aboard the Geck bus.
6, I did put Dak Prescott. I love him as a person, and I think he is a good quarterback. I've talked about it at nauseum, I think, on this podcast, where I truly stand on him, the Cowboys, Mike. Anyways, number 7, I put Goff because it would mean the Lions win, and then Goff bringing Detroit their Super Bowl after he himself got discarded from LA would be a great story. 8, I went. Yeah. 8, I went Kyler. And then 9, I went Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk just being that he's been here so long. He's been good. He's been a really good person. Number 9. But yeah. Quick rattle off.
No.
There's some young guys I left off that I'm like that they're just too young to be there, with the exception of like Stroud, who I just like. The religion thing is just like a good connector with me, but Jordan Love, Anthony Richardson, those are guys that are just on the outside.
Yeah. The Falcons' 4th down play call.
Oh,
no! The Falcons' 4th down play call ruined our chances of Kansas City getting the Cousins curse. Oh my God!
Although the curse got broken, didn't it?
I thought a team had gone to the Super Bowl but didn't win it. Because Kansas City didn't lose to Kirk Cousins last year, did they?
No. It was the Niners broke it by going.
The Niners went, but they didn't win.
You're right.
No team has ever won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Cousins curse got altered now. Now it's and win.
We don't know yet. Yeah, so
which is less funny.
City. Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, had Kansas City lost this game, you'd be like, "Yep, there we go. Season's over. You just lost to Kirk Cousins." But they didn't lose to Kirk Cousins. Because of the worst 4th and inches play call you're going to see in your fucking life. The Bears had just as bad of a one against Indy, but still awful play call. You don't run a fucking stretch play on 4th and inches. It's either fuck the Achilles and make Kirk run a sneak, or make Michael Penix do it, or play action bootleg. But don't run a fucking stretch on 4th and don't make your running back have to run 7 yards to get to the line to gain, and then leave Nick Bolton unblocked. Whatever.
Do we want to move on to worst win?
Yeah, we can do that. I don't give a fuck about the Steelers, dude. I don't care. I had them winning the Fraud Bowl. That's what I was calling it, and I'm sad that we didn't get to do picks because I didn't get to talk about the Fraud Bowl. I had them beating the Chargers in the Fraud Bowl. I figured that was coming. Steelers play well against what the Chargers do. But it doesn't change the fact that Pittsburgh isn't good either. Like, I didn't think the Chargers were very good. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't prove nothing. Especially that Herbert went down in this game.
Yeah.
So,
Herbert goes down, and Derwin James gets suspended right before they play the Chiefs. Unfortunate.
Whatever.
One of those is unfortunate. The other one is planned.
Yeah.
The NFL needed to have waited. They know how people are talking about the Chiefs. I really think they needed to have waited on suspending Derwin James just for appearance.
Derwin James is not worth enough points to win a game.
No, he's not. But like you hear all the talk about like the NFL's favoring the Chiefs.
I get it.
And you suspend a high-profile player right before it for something that people, even if it wasn't against the Chiefs, would be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
But anyways, mine is going to be very contrary to what everyone else is talking about right now. I went Panthers-Raiders. Panthers beating the Raiders is the worst win because what it means for Bryce Young, and we're going to look at that transaction in its totality, is going to be sad. Because it's going to be, what is it, Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Darnell Wright? Am I getting that right?
No. No.
Who did the Bears draft?
Darnell Wright. You're right.
Yeah. And some other stuff, and then more stuff that I don't even think we're done yet.
Because the Bears traded back from 9 to 10 when they got Darnell Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, all of that for what's going to end up being like a 5th round pick. because that's what they're going to get for Bryce. Because I think they got to move off of him. And if I'm Bryce, I'm on my hands and knees begging to get moved.
Send him to Miami.
The dream is probably like to be the successor to Stafford.
That too, yeah.
Because that one feels more like a little bit more in play, just because I guess Tua's coming back.
Up to him.
Because to me, in my mind, they're going to trade him after the season. If they were trading him right now, then yes, please Miami, keep that team good,
afloat.
Even though
the Rams in the offseason.
Yeah, but it just, and then his own confidence has to be like, wow, everything looks really great when I'm not out there. Like you got to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. He just needs to change the scenery. At this point.
Desperately.
I'm not ready to give up on him, but like
neither am I. Best case,
Carolina.
he's watching like the history of Drew Brees' career videos and being like, please, God, please. He's like, I'm in my Chargers era. The Saints era is coming soon.
Yeah.
It's got. He needs to be telling himself something like that.
He just needs to get out. But,
like, people forgot that Brett Favre was even a Falcon. They only think of him as a Packer. That's what people will be like with me and whatever other team I go to, even though it can't.
Should we go with best loss?
Yes, best loss.
I'm gonna go with Atlanta. I already talked about it a little bit, but you don't feel any worse about your football team after this. Like Zach Robinson's only calling his third career game. I'm okay with him.
I was going to say, you don't need to overreact.
Terrible 4th and inches play call, but at the same time, just fucking off. I mean, just an abysmal call. I'm sorry, dude, imagine the nutsack pictures people would have posted, like the wheelbarrow, the South Park, the wheelbarrow picture. If Zach Robinson had put Penix in the game for that play, as if to run a sneak because you're protecting Kirk's Achilles, and it was a PA bootleg instead, just like with a flat route attached to it, and then it was converted. And then the nuts that you'd have to call that play and have it work. But dude, I mean, I'm okay with that. I'd much rather prefer that than a fucking stretch with 2 guys in the backfield. I was dumb. I'm sorry, that was just dumb. You had 3 guys blocking 2 guys, and then Nick Bolton unblocked. That was just terrible. But anywho. You still looked good in this game. You're not going to feel any worse about your team. You're optimistic for the season. You have high hopes for this season.
You'll hold the Chiefs to 22.
Yeah, you're only a game back. You have Tampa's 2-1, Saints are 2-1. You're 1-2. There's not you're not done.
Yeah. You're very thankful that those teams lost, though. I mean,
yeah, very much so. Yeah, it matters a lot. It's very good for Atlanta that those 2 lost. It's good for me too. I picked Atlanta to win the division. So,
dude, I mean, what I predicted is out the window.
Yeah,
I think already, but you knew what I was thinking.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on Atlanta. It's loss.
My best loss is Bears Colts. This one was a tough one to pick. I went with this one ultimately because Roma Dunze has his breakout game, over 100 yards and a touchdown.
He fucks, man.
And then Cole Kmet looks great. DJ Moore does enough. But Caleb Williams, 2 picks, but he finally gets a touchdown pass. He has 2 touchdown passes in this game. You're having him throw it way too much. 52 pass attempts. They don't have a run game, and Jacob, go ahead.
They don't have a run game, do they? What happened to the running back they signed, Brayden? Does he suck?
He does.
He bad?
He is.
DeAndre Swift bad? Who could have seen this coming?
I think Roshan Johnson outgained him with less touches.
Yeah,
at least on the ground.
Better running back. What are we doing here? I don't know why you draft Roshan Johnson just to sign DeAndre Swift in the first place. You're gonna force yourself to give the guy that you paid the carries. It's fucking stupid, man. I had to take a victory lap the other day when I saw Bears Twitter talking about, DeAndre Swift's getting the ball way too damn much. Khalil Herbert needs to get a few carries too. DeAndre Swift's getting the ball too damn much. He fucking stinks. He sucks. He always has. Running behind the Eagles' offensive line for a season does not suddenly make you a good running back. No, he's fucking Trent Richardson. He's terrible. Not only that, but I've seen we're reaching like Justin Herbert levels of if on Caleb Williams, and it's only been 3 games. Now, mind you, I'm a big believer in Caleb Williams. I don't care that he struggled. I
Honestly,
don't
I'm
think
gonna
it's any
disagree. That's
predictor.
impossible.
No, okay, but I mean, I've seen like I saw the most insane copium. It was somebody posted the passing chart of Caleb on the left and Jaden Daniels on the right. It was like on the one of these quarterbacks is capable of running an NFL offense, and the other one is Jaden Daniels. It's like shut the fuck up, dude. You don't have to put Jaden Daniels down to feel better about Caleb Williams. You can just feel good about Caleb Williams. Shane Waldron stinks. We can all see it. We're all watching the same shit you're watching. Shane Waldron is not doing a good job. We can all acknowledge that without saying, "Oh, Jaden Daniels is a Cliff Kingsbury merchant." First of all, nobody's a Cliff Kingsbury merchant. All right, be honest. I'm not sold.
Well, Dan Quinn might.
Dan Quinn might be this year, and maybe I don't know. And Cliff Kingsbury has evolved. I do think he's doing better now than he did in Arizona as a play caller, which is probably just because he is now just a play caller and not in charge of everything. But I'm sorry, that's dumb. It's dumb. We don't need to do this shit. And but yeah, I was quite pleased seeing people complaining about DeAndre Swift because I mean, the most obvious fall off ever. Sorry, it is what it is. So
It's like, did they not learn when like Miles Sanders left Philly and didn't be as good?
It's literally Einstein's definition of insanity. Chuba Hubbard had way more touches than Miles Sanders did this past week.
Chuba Hubbard's making me a little scared about when Jonathan Brooks comes back, although I think he'll offer more in the passing game. But
see, Hubbard still isn't like he's a great downhill runner.
That's
about it.
That whole offense will probably
yeah
take a step back this next week.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am excited for when Jonathan Brooks does start playing, though. I think that will provide some life into a team that needs it. But granted, that's what Andy Dalton just did. Only quarterback in the season so far that has a game of 300 yards and touchdown. So good for him. But
how much did Josh Allen throw for yard wise?
I don't think he threw much in the second half because he had like 200 yards in the first half and then just didn't do much in the second. I think he only had like
263.
70. Yeah. So
yeah, still the only.
Yep. Are we ready to move on to
in a win?
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's the only. But Joe Burrow did throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Okay, in a loss. Okay.
In a loss. So in a win,
Andy
Dalton's the only one.
Ready to move on to worst loss?
Yes. Let's both kind of quick because I think this conversation there's a
it's kind of the same.
There's a common theme here. Let's say them and let's let the people at home guess what this common theme is possibly. My worst loss is Browns Giants.
Mm-hmm. And my worst loss is Jacksonville past week.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about NFL quarterback contracts. Because both of these quarterbacks on these losing teams have signed insane deals. One very recently, one the year before?
A couple years before. Yeah, a couple years before. Because he was suspended the year, and then he played last year. So we're in year 3 of Deshaun in Cleveland. So this is
year 3 is.
And it ain't getting no better.
I guess it's because I haven't because I don't know, but.
No better.
I looked it up and I went away from my screen, but like if he had been cut this year, his dead cap hit would have been over $200 million. Mm-hmm. It won't be under $100 million until 2 years from now when it's $99.8 million.
Mm-hmm.
There is no out. I mean, Russ got cut at 85. And Deshaun is looking terrible enough that with the cap going up, we could see that record be broken in the 2 years with Deshaun Watson.
Warms my heart.
Unless he gets arrested and convicted before then.
There's two things here, and like 2 ways of looking at this. It's like, one, with this new lawsuit, can the Browns find an out somehow with this lawsuit? But also, like, on the one hand, I don't want Deshaun Watson to make another penny than he already has. On the other hand, I want the Browns to pay for their sins. because this was a dumb idea, and
It
Prime was a
just
bitch.
it's insane.
Yeah.
Like it was the daring allegations to sign him to the most guaranteed money of an NFL player ever.
And then he stinks.
So
he fucking sucks.
This, I don't know if I should say this point, but I was like, you know what? Equality has come a long way in the NFL. If I told you 10 years ago, a black quarterback is facing this many allegations and is up for a contract, what do you think he gets? The most guaranteed money ever?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
So there's a beautiful lens to look through this.
That's like the one positive way to look at this.
I was like,
this is a sign of progress in one way, but also a sign of regression in another way.
I don't know. NFL, it might not be regression. This might just be what they've been at.
It's just a sign of we're not moving the way we need to move in this regard. It doesn't matter what you do. You can be Joe Mixon and beat the shit out of a woman, right before draft season and still be a second pick. Doesn't matter. So
yeah.
But you better not gamble.
Them Ohio teams, baby.
Something in the water over there. But and the Texans as well. Joe Mixon's in Houston now, and that's where Deshaun got his starts.
They're just swapping terrible human beings.
Yeah, bad people. God, it's fuck Deshaun Watson. Anywho, moral of the story. But with Jacksonville, I'm not out on Trevor, and I don't think Jacksonville should be either.
No.
But I'm certainly out on Doug Peterson. I was never really in on Doug Peterson.
Yeah, he's gone.
It was always weird to say this about a coach who's won a Super Bowl, but it always felt like there was a ceiling with Doug Peterson in Jacksonville when they first hired him, just because of how things ended in Philly. It's like, okay, he's an adult. He's not Urban Meyer. He's not gonna cheat on his wife.
Yeah,
after a football game.
I'm not gonna blame them for the hire. We always talk about bridge quarterbacks.
I feel like they should have let him go last year.
Yeah, we talk about bridge quarterbacks all the time, but I think it's okay to
bridge coach.
Start looking at bridge coaches. Hey, that's what Doug Peterson was. Thank you for getting us out of the Urban Meyer hellhole, but time to go. The
problem is they didn't treat him like one. Is the problem? If that's what they wanted him to be, they should have gotten rid of him last year. And I said it last year. They should have fired Doug Peterson last year. Just the way the season ended, like you don't show up really at all in the last game of the season against Tennessee, who was just bad last year. No ands, ifs, or buts about it.
Yeah.
Like that's a little like I would have fired him last year.
Is Jacksonville the current guess to be best spot for a head coach next year with Trevor? I know the contract is crazy,
I like the roster. Honestly, I like the roster. I like the offensive weapons, especially Brian Thomas Jr. He's played so
great.
far. Like the offensive line's not great, but like this is a decent offensive line class. There's a lot you can do.
They'll have a high pick, presumably.
Right.
I mean,
they
could change it around. But I don't think they change it around to make playoffs, but
they're going to finish with a bottom 5 pick. I think so.
Bottom, maybe. Possibly,
or top
probably.
top 5 pick, I guess. Yeah, I think it's going to be bad. Like they're not going to be good. Like this could be a Ben Johnson destination. This could be a Bobby Slowick destination, state division. I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be. It's going to be an offensive head coach. I'm almost certain.
For sure, you pay that much money to a quarterback that's underperforming.
Make sure Trevor works. Yeah. So now the issue is that if this is who Trevor is at this point, then and it's starting to look more and more like it could be, just because we're in year what is it? Year are you in year 5 already, or is this year 4? No, it's year 4. We drafted in 2021.
Yeah, because 2020 was Burrow and all those.
This is year 4 of Trevor Lawrence, and he's still not quite as advertised. So I don't know. I feel like you just give him the best chance to be as advertised. Go get him Ben Johnson or something. But yeah, it's just a tough law. I mean, you get the shit. It's the 6th worst loss in franchise history. It's, I think, the largest halftime deficit. I don't know if that
prime time,
a long time that they've had, but yeah, on a Monday night, like it's bad.
And people are like, "Oh, Josh Allen, let's check that out," because people are going to want to watch Josh Allen. So people are watching this game, watching you get dominated.
Yeah. By the way, my headphone batteries are already low. I think we're running pretty long here.
Yeah, we're at an hour already.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Well, we can cut out some of the
Just speed it up a little bit.
yeah.
Is it picks time?
It is picks times. I got them pulled up right here.
Oh,
So,
yes,
ladies and gentlemen, we had a bad week last week.
I think everybody had a bad week last week, though. I don't think many people had good weeks picking last week.
So last week, me and Jacob tied. We both had 7 points.
Mm.
Let's see. We were both right about the Jets. I was right about the Giants. I was right about Indy. You were right about Minnesota. We were both wrong about New Orleans, both wrong about the Chargers.
Yeah. You're whooping my ass, by the way.
I was gonna get there.
You are still whooping my ass.
We were both wrong about Tampa Bay, both wrong about Tennessee, both wrong about the Raiders, both right about Seattle. You were right about Detroit, both right about Baltimore, both wrong about San Francisco, both right about KC, both right about Buffalo, both wrong about Cincy. So what that puts us at now is I am at where is it? I'm at 29. Jacob's at 23. Gabe is at 0.
Yeah.
So I'm up 6. But I'm getting worse every week.
Yeah.
You're staying about consistent. I went 12, 10, 7. I'm getting worse.
Yeah.
You went 8, 8, 7.
Yeah, it ain't looking too good right now.
So you're consistent. I'm declining.
I'm yet to go positive in a week, though, is my concern. So I gotta get right this week.
This is the week to do it. So the first one we have, ladies and gentlemen, is Cowboys at Giants. I will take the Cowboys.
I will too, not confidently though.
I you know what? They got humiliated back-to-back weeks. Do they let Daniel Jones do it to them? Maybe. I guess I can't really rule anything out, but that clip of Dak Prescott being like, "Jump off now if you want." Brother, I'm dying, dude. I started planning the jump last year when you lost to San Francisco. And when y'all got brought back, this same team, I said, "Oh, time to leave."
Dak Prescott, when a fan threatens to kill himself, "Hey, jump off now if you want."
Jump off. I don't know if NFL players ever sit back and think of I wonder, it's not our fault, but I wonder how many people we were the last straw for in some capacity.
That would be a depressing thing to have to think about if you're an NFL player.
Yeah,
but it's happened. Yeah, it definitely happens.
And then it's how many unstable men were we the last straw for to then do something to loved ones?
Another back-breaking Daniel Jones turnover. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of my wife now.
I saw the meme, and I can't remember. You might have even sent it into the chat as well about there was 18 days of no killings in New Orleans.
Yeah, I did send that, and then as soon as they lose the game, somebody gets killed.
and it was Derek Carr. It was this man has blood on his hands.
Yeah, this man has blood on his hands.
Because speaking of, we have the Saints at Falcons. I think there might be blood running again. I was going to say
there may be more murder because I think I'm taking it away.
But hey, we're talking about New Orleans. We're talking about Atlanta. I think either way, lives are being lost.
Yeah.
I spoiled this one earlier. Bengals at Panthers. I got Cincy. This is when the turnaround starts. People are making their memes now, making jokes now. They have not paid attention to how the Bengals are. They suck in the beginning of the NFL season.
Plus, they haven't looked bad the last 2 years.
These last two, yeah.
Defensively, they didn't look great against Washington, but in general, they haven't looked bad the last.
They put up, once you put up 30, because they put up 33 points, I'm like, you know what? Might be time to start looking at the defense instead.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Rams
at Bears.
Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams. Strong week last week. Give me the Rams.
Strong week.
Spread is only 3 points.
Who is anyone back for the Rams? I know Nakua was put on IR. Was Cooper Kupp was not, right?
I don't know. I mean, if you beat the 49ers, you can beat the fucking Bears.
Maybe. Who knows? New year, baby.
I'm taking the Rams.
You know what? I'll bear down.
All right, fair enough.
This is game of the week, baby.
Absolutely.
Division.
And it's tough for me to want to pick because
is Jordan Love back? Is he 100%? Give me the Vikings.
I think he plays, but give me Minnesota. And now I don't say that confidently at all.
No, this is division games regardless. of how these teams have played before. Division games throw everything out the window. I mean, this
is also the point in the season where you think Minnesota might drop one. They're on the road at a division opponent, a good division opponent. This is the point in the season where it's like, okay, yeah, they came back down to earth just a little bit. But if they win this game, all aboard, bro. I mean, I'm already on board, but dude, if they win this fucking game, especially if they just look great doing it again, like convincingly, it's fucking time. But Jaguars at Texans.
Give me the Texans.
This almost kind of feels like a game Jacksonville could win. I'm not gonna do it, but God, I hope it happens.
I would say there's a better chance if the Texans weren't coming off a loss.
Yeah.
But you lose, you're a little more focused.
Yeah.
You're licking your lips watching Monday Night Football.
Yep.
Give me the Texans.
No. Steelers at Colts.
I refuse to believe the Steelers go 4-0. I will be going with the Colts. AR bounce back game against TJ.
No turnover worthy plays so far this season, so it's good for him. But I want to pick Indy. I don't think they're winning this game though.
I do.
It's just like
Then go with the 4-0 Steelers.
I don't wanna though. I don't want the Steelers to be like this is bullshit. This is the most cupcake fucking first 4 games I think. Why does Pittsburgh always have such an easy?
I was about to say this is the most since the 11-0.
They always do this shit. They always do this shit. They play in the AFC North. How is their schedule always this fucking easy?
Never forget the 11-0 Steelers.
The 12-4 Steelers or whatever they were, or 12-5 or however they ended up.
Yeah. Or
11-5, whatever the fuck. I don't remember if that was the 17 game year or 16. It was either the last one or the first one. Broncos at Jets. Give me the Jets. Not moved by 1 week of good Bo Nix football.
I mean, I liked seeing it. I mean,
it was good. Like
I don't think that he plays that level every week. It's going to be like this, but I think this is the beginning of it mostly going up. But I will still pick the Jets.
Yeah, give me the Jets in this game.
Eagles at Bucks.
Bucks at home. Give me Tampa.
Yeah, the Bucks have been one of the best teams against the Eagles.
They whooped their ass in the postseason last year.
Twice.
Do
they did it last year, and they did it. Was it the first year of Jalen Hurts? I can't remember. But
maybe. Yeah, year two of Jalen Hurts because it was year 1 of Vic Sirianni in the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the Tom Brady Super Bowl year, I think.
Yes. Because I just remember that the video of the real crazy like dressed up Eagles fan who's like, "We're not down, we're not out, we're gonna pull this off," and it immediately cuts to him at the end. So the season is over. Commanders at Cardinals.
Give me Arizona, not by a ton though. I think Commanders plus 3.5. I might take that. That looks pretty good.
I don't. I'm gonna pick with my heart. I don't want to see the Cardinals go 1-3.
Right. I'm there as well. Well, and also, I mean, Washington, like they've won 2 in a row. They still have holes. They're still like they're gonna drop.
It's a rookie quarterback on the road.
Yeah, they're not going to look this great offensively every game. And now they're gonna finish the year with really good offense, I think. But it's not gonna look like this every week. So, give me Arizona, but. Patriots at 49ers. There's just no way San Francisco starts 1-3.
No, there's no way they lose to the Patriots.
The even Vegas doesn't give a shit. The spread on this game is 10.
Yeah,
there's just a double-digit spread. I'm sorry. New England might come. Actually, no, I think San Francisco's going to win by like 20. I think this is a get-back week. With all due respect to New England.
100%.
This is a get-back. This is
100%.
They're going to win by. New England has extra prep time because they played on Thursday the previous week. It doesn't matter.
Percent is 100.
Give me San Francisco. Browns at Raiders. I don't care.
Flip a coin.
Raiders and hope.
Hey, if I'm ever iffy, I'm gonna pick against Deshaun. Give me the Raiders.
The spread is 1.
Yeah.
Vegas doesn't give a shit either. Give me the Raiders.
When in doubt, pick against Deshaun.
When in doubt, pick against Deshaun Watson, especially when he's on the road and against Max Crosby. Hopefully he has him in hell. God, I hope so. The Cleveland's offensive line has not been.
Oh my God! You know what would be You know what would be insane? It's Niners, Browns, and you show Nick Bosa some of the victims of Deshaun. You show him some white women. He would go insane.
If we ever see Niners Brown, I'm taking the over on Nick Bosa sacks. Like,
I don't care if the line is 7.5. I'm taking the over.
I'm teasing it up to like 3.5, and I'm taking the over. I'm betting the fucking house.
I'm betting money on a record being broken.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
But Chiefs at Chargers. Gotta go Chiefs.
Got to begrudgingly. I don't want them, but like I'm gonna.
No. It'd be fun. It'd be super funny if this was the first one they lost to Taylor Heineke.
Give it to Taylor Heineke and then just fucking J.K. Dobbins with like 200 yards.
That's what it would take.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But
Bills at Ravens. The Ravens are actually favored in this game.
Is this the third straight week of primetime Bills? Thursday were they Thursday night? Because they were Thursday night, Monday night. Because Dolphins, yeah.
Sunday night. Yep. They're 3 straight
Sunday
weeks of
night.
primetime
Okay.
Bills. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it continues. Like I said, I got Josh Allen MVP. Primetime games are huge for that. I think he's going to come alive. Ravens.
Feels like a game Baltimore could absolutely win.
Could. Oh, no, 100% could. But I'm riding with my MVP pick.
I kind of want to pick him. I'm going to go with Buffalo. I think Buffalo's just a better team. But Tennessee at Miami. I'm picking against Tennessee this week. Fuck it. I don't.
Funnily,
I'm going to. We're favored by
gonna,
1.5. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
I
just
just
doesn't deserve it.
the Dolphins looked worse than you guys last week. I'm going with the Titans.
I'm almost positive. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. I do kind of think we're gonna win this game. I'm not fucking picking us. It's not happening. Not happening. They don't deserve it. I'm not picking us. It's out of principle. By the way, can we cut it the fuck out with the Monday Night Football doubleheaders? Nobody likes this shit.
Well, no, because one of these games is good, one of these games is bad. There's a chance, knowing them, we'd probably just get a bad game if there was just one.
Well, yeah, it'd be Titans-Dolphins. That game's going to be drunk. That game's going to be terrible. That's going to be really bad football. Seahawks-Lions is going to be a great game.
This is great.
I'm picking Detroit.
I think I'm going to ride it with you there.
I don't want to see Seattle lose. I really like Seattle right now, but I just think at some point the rookie head coach still, it's got to happen eventually. By the way, Ryan Grubb. Why did Alabama not want Ryan Grubb? What happened there? He's been awesome. Awesome calling plays for Seattle this year.
That's all the picks.
Shout out Ryan Grubb. So give me Detroit, and that is 16 of 16. And I feel better about this week. I think I'm gonna have a get back week. I think I'm gonna have at least 9 right.
You know what it's time for now?
What would that be?
Brayden's best.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is the post-week 3 power rankings. Top 10 teams in the league. They are. Coming in at number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. Reigning champs are still undefeated. I'm going to keep them up top. Number 2, led by this year's MVP winner, I went with the Buffalo Bills.
Yes, sir.
Number 3.
Be who I think it is, please.
The story of the year so far. Just how much a situation matters for a quarterback. When you go from worst situation in the league to worst situation in the league, and then you find yourself getting coached by Kevin O'Connell, it does things to you. This team is rolling, led by Sam Darnold. Minnesota Vikings at 3.
By the way, comeback player of the year, I'm taking Sam Darnold over Aaron Rodgers. No question about it. So far this season.
So far, yeah. I mean, yeah. Coming in at number 4, how good are the Vikings? So good that they dominate number 4, because number 4, I do have the Houston Texans.
All the way up at 4.
All the way up at 4. I'm not going to
last week.
Last week they were 2.
Oh, wow.
So this is me not overreacting too much to a loss, even though they got dominated, a loss to a really good team. I've got the Houston Texans at 4. I believe in C.J. Stroud. I believe in DeMeco Ryans. I think that's probably the best trio of wide receivers in the NFL right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
That team's playing well.
Nico Collins, by the way, top 7-ish receiver in the league. I don't think that's crazy.
Possibly.
Quite honestly.
He's helping me be 3-0 in the league that I'm in with you.
I have him in the other league. Unfortunately, I am now 2-1 in both leagues, I think. But what do you call it? In regards to Nico Collins, I will say he's like the closest thing in the NFL we have right now to Julio Jones. I think in terms of build, in terms of play style, like he just looks so much like Julio Jones to me when I watch him play. I think he's the closest thing we have.
Coming in at number 5.
Yeah.
Undefeated. A defense I was high on coming into the year.
Mm-hmm.
Another trio of wide receivers that are incredible.
Yes, sir.
They were without one of their running backs, but the other one played great.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Seattle Seahawks at number 5.
I love it.
Coming in at number 6, I have the team with the best running back duo in the league. Led by the Sun.
Is all the way this high?
Huh?
Yeah. Just kidding.
That joke wasn't funny because it is the Detroit Lions at number 6.
Sir.
Number 7. This team shows just how good it is holistically because it does not have their QB1 right now. Could be coming back this week. But I am impressed by what LaFleur is doing. Give me the Packers at 7.
Yes, sir.
Number 8. Team with a losing record. They've been banged up. I've seen that in contracts, like for what it is this year, over $100 million worth of players injured. But you can't count them out. You know when they get, even if maybe they don't even need to get healthy because they still are a good team. They just played a tough opponent that just seems to get the better of them. I went with the Niners at 8. Number 9. Coming off a win by a quarterback that has, I think, one loss to an NFC team?
Yep.
Dominates the
Jones,
NFC.
by the way. Yeah.
The modern-day Vic lost to Vanilla Vic.
Mm-hmm.
But at number 9, I think maybe they're starting to find a flow in that rushing attack, which could be deadly if done properly. I got the Ravens at 9.
It's still nice to see Derrick Henry playing good football.
Especially when I have him in fantasy.
Oh, I don't, but I'm in it purely for the love of the game. Love me some Derrick Henry.
In number 10, I was kind of looking around. This is when I was like, who should be number 10? And I decided to go with a team with a great defense and an offense that I think is starting to come together.
Okay.
I know how you feel about their coaching staff, but I think they're starting to come together a little bit.
Oh, I know who this is.
But that defense looks great. There is a pedigree to that quarterback that I'm going to trust and respect. He has a wide receiver 1 that he can check out of a play and just say fuck it and throw it to when needed. Another great duo of running backs. I went with the New York Jets at number 10.
Braylon Allen is younger than us, by the way.
So
You're welcome. Just for letting you know. He's 20 years old. He can't even drink yet. But, and he scored 2 touchdowns against my favorite football team. But anywho, yeah,
that's Braden's best.
I think Jets at 10 looks good there. I like that. I like that a lot. It's hard still at this point in the season. It's hard to rank New Orleans.
Especially because there's these 1 and 2 teams that you're like, I know you're good.
Right, like Baltimore, it's like you're not fooling me.
Yeah, Baltimore and the Niners.
Right. The Niners.
I see through the deception.
Kind of, if they were healthier, it's like the Cardinals too. The Cardinals are 1 and 2, but I'm like, you're gonna be better than them.
Yeah, so it's tough. Cardinals will probably end up being here at some point. Did I ever sneak them in?
Too many good teams in the league right now. No. Too many good teams.
But yeah, that is week 3 of Braden's best. Do you want to just do top 3 and what we've been on and then call it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, top 3 of the week. Vacation spots. What? Now, are we doing exact locations or like the beach?
Well, I was gonna give like countries. You know what I mean? Like
okay.
But not necessarily like cities. Or like exact things I want to do while I'm there. Just shit that I feel like I would enjoy.
Okay, I'm just gonna say fuck it. I'm just gonna go with what comes to my head. I'm not gonna order these because
whatever you want to do.
I got no time. But you go first, sir.
Number 3, I'm gonna have to go with Japan. I think the minute I turn 18, I'm moving to Japan. rich culture, rich history. It's beautiful.
Crazy rich Asians.
Yeah, a lot of shit I want to see. So, that's where I'm at. That's the first one for me.
Okay. My number 3. If I'm vacationing, what do I want to be doing? I'm just gonna say broadly, just like some mountain lodge.
Yeah, definitely.
Just staying in, enjoying the view, chilling. I'm a chiller. I like to chill.
I like to chill.
Big chiller, not
Give
huge.
me
You're not gonna catch me partying. Really, I don't like to go out like that.
Give me a balcony on the lodge, like a place I can just walk outside, sip on some coffee or something.
Yeah.
Well, I feel a little mountain air.
Mountain. That mountain lodge will kick us off here. Your next one, sir.
I think I'm just gonna ride with Mountain Lodge at my number 2 as well. I like that one a lot, actually. Anywhere I love the mountains. I've always talked adamantly about. Put me in Colorado.
Slightly chilly, with
I ain't never leaving.
A cup of hot chocolate.
With a little breeze going, I ain't never leaving. Not gonna happen. So your number 2, sir. Where we at?
My number 2. Let Daddy think. My number 2. Man, I don't know. Let's just go. Let's just go on a food trip through Europe.
Oh fuck yeah!
We're just going around, driving through countries that are the size of U.S. states, just eating some food.
And it's nice to have bakeries that are open at unreasonable hours, at least in accordance you don't have bakeries open at midnight here, but you can go. You can get shit faced in fucking Italy. Go get a croissant. That shit goes hard. So, I need that. I need that in my life. My number 1.
Your number 1, sir.
Take my ass to Switzerland. Yes, sir. Safest country in the world. It's beautiful. It is fucking gorgeous. I have a friend who went there a few months ago. She sent me pictures when she went. It looks fantastic. Put me in Switzerland. I'm not leaving. Never leaving. Yes, sir.
Is it my number 1?
It's time.
My number 1 is going to be Japan.
Yes, sir.
I want to see, the Nintendo Land that they have out there. Would be beautiful to see. I'm a big Nintendo boy.
For sure.
Love it.
Wii Vault.
The Wii Vault. You can see the Wii deconstructed right here. The Wii U is right here. The Switch is right here. You can even see the little amiibo pointing up. Another thing I love that it has its origins is rooted in Japan is Power Rangers with the Super Sentai that they have over there. The Power Rangers before Power Rangers, what Power Rangers is based off, what Power Rangers dubs over just to make their own show. I think they have some Super Sentai stuff I'd want to check out over there. Go to Mount Fuji. Talked about eating food. I would love to go over there and try some authentic Japanese food over there. Get some sushi in Japan.
Oh yes, sir.
But yeah, that would be delightful.
I haven't had sushi in a couple months. I need to get sushi.
Yeah, now I say it out loud and I'm like, fuck.
It was a Japanese restaurant the last time I had sushi, and I'm gonna get some sake next week. Go treat myself. Sake.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is a rapid fire. One of the quickest top 3s of the week you'll ever see.
Gotta get it done.
Now it's time for what we've been on. Jacob, what you been on?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yes.
God, I fucking love this show. My friend's coming over as soon as we're done to watch episode 19 with me because he wanted to watch that one with me. And possibly a couple more episodes. But also, Tennessee Vols, for what it's worth. Damn good football team, by the way. Walk into the Gaylord Memorial Stadium, take over the Gaylord Memorial Stadium. All right, I'm the Gaylord now. Okay. Currently ranked 5th in the country. We're finally ranked ahead of Old Piss, like we deserve to be. So, it's good. Top 5, soon to be top 1. We are 1 of 1. Undefeated, never lost. Vols on top. But yeah, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. the way the powers in this show work are so unique with everyone's different alchemy. The way alchemy works in general, based on the law of equivalent exchange, I think it's a really cool concept. And the characters in this show are really great so far, and I'm just having a blast. Can't wait. I can't wait to just keep going. Having a good time. But you, sir, what have you been on? What we got? What's on the docket?
Do you know how much I love Matt Reeves' Batman?
Yes.
I don't even know if I've articulated enough on this podcast. I fucking loved that movie. I saw it 3 times in the theaters. It is my favorite live-action Batman already.
Yeah. We've talked ad nauseum about this movie.
And we got a little bit more in that universe finally, because the Penguin episode 1 came out, and it was great.
Yes, sir.
Some things... there's a couple things I want to point out. One thing is they name drop this place. I think it's supposed to be like a borough, or it's either a borough or a suburb or something of Gotham named. I think they called it Robbinsville or Robinville or something like that. My guess, this is a little theory, Brayden theory, first time. This is fully 100% mine. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, I wonder if this universe's Robin will be from there, and that's where he gets the name.
Perhaps.
That's my guess. Throwing that out there.
That would make sense. Yeah.
And then, I wasn't aware of this. You pointed this out. They have a little name change in the Penguin.
They do, and it could have some significance.
It 100% does.
Okay. So
no. There's nothing in the episode, but like, there's no way you do that change and it not tie into that.
Yeah, I guess.
I doubt it. I can't. So, Oswald Cobblepot in this show is Oswald Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
The Talon, I forget his first name.
But his last name is Cobb.
His last name is Cobb. So we see the Penguin, slight spoilers. We see the Penguin go visit his mother. We see his brothers in the pictures. It's alluded to, it's not outright said, because his mother needs medication, and she mentions, oh, the boys were playing in the bathtub. The way Penguin pauses makes it seem like they're dead. That's what it alludes to. My guess is one of them is not dead. I'm going to guess that like one of his brothers is going to be in some way either the Talon, one of the Talons related to the Court of Owls in some way. My guess is like when he was younger, either abducted or given over and then trained, raised to be a Talon. Maybe he won't be the active Talon because I don't know how old the Penguin, I don't know how old he's supposed to be. And I don't know if he's the older brother and it's going to be a younger brother that got taken or what the dynamic is.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to tie in some way.
Yeah.
That is my guess there. But honestly, that show was great. Colin Farrell loses himself. He is unrecognizable in that role.
Well, he's just the Penguin.
And then I don't remember her name, but Sophia Falcone is in this. Mm-hmm. Great performance. She was the late in, finally seen at the end of the show mother in How I Met Your Mother. Mm-hmm. Same person. But okay. Yeah, I think. If not, she looks identical. I guess I didn't check it on IMDb, but looks identical. I guess I could double check it right now super quickly.
Yeah.
But I think that's everything I've been on, if there's anything you've been on.
New Bright Eyes album came out on Friday last week. I didn't love it. It was okay. It wasn't bad by any means, but I was hoping for a bit more. I didn't quite get more. But what else? Not a ton came out that really excited me last Friday. So I think I listened to something else. I don't even remember what it was. So probably just gonna call it at that. But I think that's gonna do it for me too. If that's gonna do it for you.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check. When would that be? Yes. Okay. Yes, she was the mother in How I Met Your Mother.
It is her. Okay.
It is her.
Very cool.
But yeah, that is going to do it for me. This was a great episode, great time.
Yes, sir.
But next one, as always, is going to be over on Avillion and Talks channel, so go check that out, subscribe to the channel. But like I said, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep gaming.
Peace.